To no surprise, Miyazaki did it again. So, Boy and the Heron is directed by the greatest animated filmmaker of all time, Hayao Miyazaki, and it was supposed to be his last film for a really long time. And like a few months ago, there was an article I read about how apparently he's going back to make another film, which is honestly really surprising to me because this film feels a lot like his last film. There are two characters in particular where he really inserts himself into both of them in very different ways, and the way that the story concludes it feels like he's concluding his own career. So I'm really interested to see what his next film is going to be. But this one, first and foremost, was beautiful. I mean, you could not take your eyes off of any shot in this entire film. Each one of them is just so carefully crafted to look more beautiful than the next. And this film, it takes part in two places. You got the Earth half of this film, and then the just otherworldly half of this film. And they made the Earth half feel just as mystical as the following half, which I think is really impressive. I mean, Miyazaki's world building here is just all out, you know, it's incredible. I mean, I almost wish it was longer, but also for a 2-hour film, this felt really long. My one genuine negative with this entire movie is that I feel like it was paced pretty poorly. It felt a lot more like a 2.5 to 3 hour film than it did a 2-hour film, just because there was so much going on in every single scene, and I almost wish it got a bit more room to breathe, but also that's okay. Despite the pacing flaws, I did not mind it that much because everything else about this film was incredible. And just going back to the way it looks for a second, this is probably the best looking Ghibli film I have ever seen. And that's definitely a credit to them taking 8 years to draw out this film. And you can really just tell. It is beautiful, and just there are certain images from this film that are just stuck in my head, and when it comes out on digital, I want to screenshot them and save them somewhere or print them out or something, because it is marvelous to look at. For a film that looks so good, it's really hard to make a score that matches that and matches the mystifying animation that is being done, but this score does that. The film and the score work perfectly together in this beautiful harmony that can only be described as breathtaking. To wrap up, I just want to talk a little bit about the story itself. It follows our main protagonist, Mahito, whose mother just tragically passed away because of fire bombings in Tokyo. So a couple of years after that, he is relocated to living with his new stepmom in this really new place, and their house is like, it's a palace. They essentially live in a palace. But things seem off kind of right away because there's this gray heron that keeps trying to approach Mahito, and eventually the gray heron and Mahito talk, and the gray heron keeps calling him this long-awaited one. And it unravels to be the story all about family and just what it means to be human and to live on Earth. You know, it's a really just deeply themed film, and I found the story to be really powerful just on its own. It just takes a lot of twists and turns that you would not expect at all, but I found it all to be great. I also just want to acknowledge that I watched the dub version, not the sub version, and because of that, I got to experience Robert Pattinson voicing the Heron, and he was incredible. I mean, he did not sound like himself whatsoever. The fact he committed so hard for a voice acting role is it's great, you know. And if anything happens to this man's career as a just regular actor, you know that he will be set for life just being a voice actor, because he is able to just sound like someone that isn't him whatsoever. And I really want to find an interview or see an interview of him talking about this film and then doing the voice, because I just feel like that would be really fun. With all that, Boy and the Heron gets 4.5 stars. Hayao Miyazaki, like I said, he's done it again. In my opinion, this is his 4th best film, just under Spirited Away, Mononoke, and Castle in the Sky. But what about all of you? Are you planning on watching Boy and the Heron? Have you already seen it? What were your thoughts? Did you not like it that much? Because I know that there's some people that haven't really liked this film as much as they expected to. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below, and while you're down there, please feel free to like and subscribe. This is a very small channel that I am very passionate about, and I would love your support. I'll see you all in the next movie review. Take care.